Yo, what's up guys? The Insane Game Freak here. We live action. Oh, I had to do it at least once. This is a video that is considerably an indirect response to the Elite Aces video about what do you expect from next gen gaming consoles and whatnot, since we obviously had the release of the Wii U, and we know probably at this E3 we're going to hear something about Sony's new console. No idea about Microsoft. So I figured I'd make it a kind of an indirect video response, and I say indirect purely just because I'm gonna like that. To me, Elite Aces video was more of a springboard than making me want to do a response. I just wanted to talk about next generation gaming consoles in general and kind of my thoughts and my opinions on shit, because it's like we don't know too much about the Sony stuff except for that we know the whole patent bullshit about you're not going to be able to play used games on the PS4 probably. That's if they actually put it into effect. If they put it into effect where essentially all the games you get for your console have to be new. You know, if they're not new, then you're not going to be able to play them. Pretty much killing the used game market for Sony games, essentially. And, you know, that in itself is kind of a pain, but it's kind of been expressed already in the community that Sony hasn't been financially stable in like 4 years, and it's just gotten worse and worse over time. So it's not like they're at the point where they can't make a new console, because they damn sure are going to make a new console, because they'll probably be announced at E3. But this is kind of like that last shot deal. Like if this doesn't do well, it's just going straight to hell at that point. I don't know if it's as dire as I'm making it sound, but it could possibly be, and it would make sense considering, as been stated before, not doing so hot. So I kind of wanted to talk about that whole concept of how many of you guys are even playing. Most people are not going to buy all three. Well, some will, but most people are not going to buy all three next gen for all the main companies. I don't think anyone's going to buy straight out a 720, a Wii U, and a PS4. All, because you really don't need all of them. Even me personally, I have never fucked with the Xbox. I've never fucked with any of Microsoft's gaming consoles. I barely had my hands on the Xbox for like what? The Xbox came out in 2005, so the 8 years it's been out, and I have barely played it. Like I've played it I think less than 10 times. Out of the entire lifespan of that console, I've only played it maybe like less than 10 times. Probably more than 5, but I know it's less than 10. But you know, just kind of going to the original question Aaliyah posed in the videos, like, what do you expect? Well, you know, as a gamer, there's only like, you kind of just expect, you know, the following things, and these are actually pretty simple. It's not like I need these really detailed explanations. I essentially expect an up the ante in quality. It doesn't have to be by a huge amount, because at this point they've gotten pretty ridiculous to begin with. But so, you know, up the ante on the quality. It doesn't have to be by a insane amount. Improvements to the features that are already on the consoles, and pretty much what you said in your video, where you know you want essentially everything that came out with the original console on this new console, plus, you know, added tweaks to make those things better, plus, you know, additions to that, you know, new features and whatnot, good games, which is probably the most important thing. Is that about it? Yeah, there's not too much I'm really expecting out of a new console. But here's my bigger question. How many of you are even willing to buy a new Sony console, or, you know, how many of the systems is all you guys actually planning to buy? Are you planning to buy, you know, a 720, a PS4, and a Wii U, or just a Wii U, or just a PS4, or maybe a PS4 and a 720, or a PS4 and a Wii U? Like, how many of you guys actually plan to buy multiple next-gen consoles? Because I know this is kind of unfair, but just think about it. What things would you want them to improve from the PS3 to the PS4, or the 360 to the 720? Or if you want to, you could take the most like up-to-date model of those, like the slim for the 20 and the Slim for the PS3, because I heard the fucking really cheap version, like the $200 version, I heard that one was ass. Like the one where they actually had the stupid diss out tray thing again, I heard that was ass. But, you know, what improvements from those consoles would you want to see? Because to me, I look at it this way. You know, I know a lot of people look at it like, oh, it's new generation, so automatically I'm going to fucking buy it. The way I look at it is this. If I compare with the console that came before it, there's got to be enough differences between the two that makes me want to get the new console. Like the Wii and the Wii U, there's a shit ton of differences. There is a shit ton of differences between those two that makes me want to get a Wii U. The only reason why I didn't get a Wii U is because the main games I really, really, really wanted to play aren't out yet. That's the first reason. Second reason, it was during Christmas time, during the anime bullshit. Fuck you months, and I was fucking financially screwed, so I couldn't afford it. And the games weren't necessarily something I had to play. I mean, I played Batman Arkham City. Sonic All-Stars Racing, I could have got on any other console. I do still plan to get that game. I've just been dicking around. Mario, it's fucking Mario. Nintendo Land, nah, not. Mario and Nintendo Land will never make me just straight buy a console with those two alone. Now, if you had launched with like Wonderful 101, Rayman Legends, and fucking Bayonetta 2, that's a completely different story. Also, I don't care about Tekken or Call of Duty, so I didn't really give a fuck about those. Am I missing one of the heavy hitters for the Wii U launch? I think that was about it. But the console itself, I'm still planning to get. But as of right now, I really doubt Sony's gonna pull out anything at E3 that's gonna make me want to get it on launch. And that's just a fact of the matter. Because the problem with, and this is kind of the problem with gaming in general this generation, or it's turning into this / last generation. But the biggest problem I had is that, you know, a lot of the gaming consoles, especially the PS3 is like the biggest offender with this. And then it probably would be like the PS3, 360, than the Wii. That it's become more about the gaming console being an entertainment system than a gaming console. I mean, for God's sakes, the fucking PS3 can play Blu-rays on it. Well, you know, considering all the shit that you can do on a PS3, you know, go on the internet, use Wi-Fi, chat with your friends and shit. It's like, it's more of an entertainment system than a gaming console. And a lot of people like to bitch at Nintendo for not putting some of these features on here, but like Nintendo to me is the only company out of the three that still remembers that, hey, this is a gaming console. You're not gonna sit here and watch movies in high definition on this bitch. You take a fucking Blu-ray player for that shit. Or a fucking PS3 at this point. And I'll be straight up with you, I watch more anime Blu-rays on my fucking PS3 than play video games. I mean, I play video games on it. Plus that there's a lot of stupid things about this generation I don't like the whole account system, this fucking bullshit where you gotta register and preload games and install games and shit. Why is it that, like, the new generation, why is it that, and people, it's like, oh, why do you prefer Nintendo? Because Nintendo didn't stray away from video games. I mean, yeah, the games got a little bit more casual and kiddie, but I was still like, I'm not having to deal with stupid shit to play a video game. I shouldn't have to install a disc. I mean, obviously it's something you get used to because I've been doing it for a while, but still, the concept is retarded to me. You know, I'm installing a game. You know, and a lot of people like to complain about the hard drive space, which I guess would make sense for the downloadable titles, but in a sense, it's just like, I think Nintendo cares more about the physical. You know, the digital is obviously a part of it, but it's like physical games and I'm good. Plus that you can hook up a fucking, well, external hard drive to a Wii U, so it's not a big deal. But like, my biggest question is, what would you want changed from the PS3 to the PS4 that would warrant you buying it? I'm not talking about what would you like to be changed in general. I'm talking about how much would they have to change to make you outright buy it purely just straight out on the difference between the systems. Because the Wii to the Wii U, obviously niggas are not going to fuck with the Wii considering all this shit the Wii U has. The Wii U trumps the Wii in every way. Plus that you can actually still play Wii games and they're actually upscaled on the damn Wii U, so that's cool as hell. You can still use the same old controllers and whatnot. You know, the Wii still has, I mean, the Wii U still retains everything about the Wii, but at a greater scale. Like, is there any feature the Wii strictly had that the Wii U doesn't have? No. And then it has add-ons to that, like the whole TV shit, the pad itself. And the TV thing is like, oh, well, that's straying away from gaming. Well, like, kind of, but not really. That made sense because, you know, you're using your TV to play the video game on anyway. Having a TV section so you can switch from the game to the television is not a bad idea. And having it be a controller in general is not a bad idea. That kind of correlated with the gaming experience, and it doesn't take away from it because you can switch between the two. You could be having the thing set up the channels on the TV application while playing the game in the gamepad and just being like this while watching a fucking football game or, you know, SpongeBob or some shit. That's the shit I thought was cool. The problem is, and the reason I'm not talking about the Xbox that much is because I honestly have never, as I said, I've never really played Xbox control. And to me, the 360 and the PS3 are about the same goddamn console. And I know that's kind of a dickish thing to say, not maybe in features, but just in general games that they sell, it's like the same goddamn console. And like, maybe this 360 has more of a reason to, you know, upgrade. But the PS3, and I think a lot of people said this, when it first came out, it was really advanced for when it came out. It came out during the time of the Wii and the Xbox 360, the shitty version of it, not the slim, like the shitty version that had all the red rings of death and all the scratching disc and all the other bullshit problems with it and the overheating and whatnot. You know, it came out during that time. You got this beast of a console that plays PlayStation 2 games, had Blu-ray discs and shit. You could watch movies wherever the fuck. You know, and oh yeah, and the damn internet was free. You know, you could play video games for free. I still hate Xbox for that. I don't give a fuck if the internet's better. That's just, to me, well, I forget how much Xbox Live is a month, but that's just dickish to me. You should not have to pay for internet when you have to pay for internet in your house, and you have to pay for it on your 360, which just comes off redundant. I'm so glad the Wii doesn't make you fucking do that. That would have been fucking insane. Or the Wii U for that matter. But, like, it came out in such a time, it was so highly advanced, that's why it was fucking charged at a ridiculous price, and it didn't sell. But if you have one now, you pretty much have like a main entertainment system. Like, most people who are like casual gamers, I would just tell, but like to watch movies and shit, I tell them to get a PS3. There's no reason to get a fucking Blu-ray player if you do play video games. Maybe not that much, but you play video games. And to me, a PS3 is actually just cheaper, and it does more. It's more of an entertainment system than it is a video game console. And what the fuck am I missing from my PS3 right now that a PS4 will give me? Because something tells me they're going to do some type of gimmick to play onto the PS4, which will probably be something along the lines of some type of variation of Nintendo's tablet. And people are going to be like, well, the tablet's better, but here's the difference though. This will be the same problem that happened with the Kinect and the Move and the Wiimote, where the Move is technically a more advanced version of the Wiimote and better and more precise and shit, but still, you know, people who own a fucking Wii and want to play those games own a fucking Wii, so the Wii, you know, the Move was kind of pointless in that aspect. Plus that there weren't any games for it. The same thing kind of goes with the Kinect, with maybe a different variation, because, you know, obviously the Kinect wasn't a direct correlation with the Wiimote, but you can kind of tell it was still falling on that same gimmick and using the same gimmicky type games. But once again, if you wanted to play those gimmicky type games, you owned a fucking, you know, you owned a Wii already. You know, to me, if I expect them to up the ante and to make gaming more accessible and enjoyable, you know, that's my main concern. Give me good games and up the ante and change a few things. Honestly, if you want to be perfectly honest, the things I would like to be changed about the PS3 is some certain downgrades, like the fact that you don't have to fucking install discs. I'm sorry, that's dumb. I just don't like that concept. I don't like the fact that your games are your DLC games are directly correlated with your account. That's kind of a pain, especially because your account can get banned and blocked and shit because of how ridiculous the online gaming is on those two consoles. And, you know, online gaming is fine. For me personally, I don't really do it much because, I don't know why. I don't find appeal in it sometimes. If I'm gaming with friends online, that's different. But just random niggas online, I kind of stay away from. Especially when you get your ass kicked online. That's not really fun. just change some of the stupid little things about the PS3. But and even that wouldn't warrant me buying a PS4. I'm like, I have no intention of getting a new PS4. Like, they would have to announce the most ridiculous shit for me to get a PS4. And they can't do that because they don't have the money to make the PS4 as ridiculous as I'm thinking it would have to be. So, I have really no, and I hate to say that, but I have no intention of buying a PS4. They would have to sell me on the games, literally. The games for the PS4 would have to sell me to get a PS4. Because other than that, I have no intention of getting one. And the games have got to be really good, like AAA titles. Because even then, I may not give a fuck. Especially the PS3 still provides me the ability to fucking play games without the whole used game bullshit. Mind you, I don't really buy used games anyway, but, you know, still. I like to have the option. Or if you can play PS2 games and PS3 games on it, which something tells me you're probably not going to since they took it off the PS3, which have been the Apple system to keep it on. But seriously, I can't see myself paying anything. And considering Sony has been kind of weird with the pricing, considering the PS3 out the gate came out at $800. If they even charge anything, and they're probably going to charge higher. They're going to charge higher because they need the money. I bet they'll probably charge somewhere between $350 and $400, and that's if they're being smart about it. And it also just depends if there's two different models of the system in general. But if just at the end of the day, it's like when it comes to the next gen, the Wii U might be the only fucking new gen console I buy, because the PS3 to me doesn't feel outdated. It feels like it's just currently becoming the norm, because to me it was fucking advanced as shit for when it came out, and that's why it was awesome as hell when it came out. Now it's just kind of like, you know, cool. I don't really need a PS4 right now. Sony needs to put out one because they need the money, but as a fan, I don't really need it. PS3 does everything I want it to do. Like, why the fuck would I need it? And the 360, yeah, I guess you can up the ante on that, but the same thing. Like, the 360, I mean, the thing with the 360 is they have more technical issues than fucking gaming issues. You know, all they need to do is have a console that just fixes the technical issues. You know, I see people at the very most buying either Wii U's or the new 360, but the PS3 is kind of screwed because I'm really content with it. I have no reason to upgrade. Especially if the PS4 isn't going to offer too much of a difference. And if it's some bullshit variation of the gamepad, like the Move was, even if it is more advanced, I don't really give a fuck. If it's not doing anything different, and I'm already going to get a Wii U, since the Wii U will be out probably at the very least a year before the release of either one of these two next-gen consoles, then what's the fucking point? Especially if people ain't got the money, which they may not. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. If the PS4 doesn't impress me, the Wii U will probably be the only console I get. Next-gen console I get. Unless the PS4 just really has some really, really ridiculous games. But that's me. So, what are your thoughts? Please go subscribe to the Elite Ace. I'll probably have this video as a video response, and I'll have his annotation to check out his channel. You know, you niggas, you go over there when you be live action. Also, you go over there if you're a hardcore Bleach fan, because he represents the hell out of you motherfuckers, and you know damn well you're not gonna get that on this channel. But anyways, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Insane Game Freak. Life's a game, play to win, and peace out, motivators.